Welcome to your July Zodiac reading. I will be walking through all 12 Zodiac signs and doing an Illuminated Lunar Spread today. And this is going to be for the month of July. And the topic that we're talking about today is just what obstacle or block do you need to bring your attention to throughout this upcoming month? At the end of the video, make sure you click over to my bonus reading where I will be pulling a quick action card for each sign. So don't forget to click to the very end of the video. And if you want to watch through and see what each reading is for each sign so you can be aware of what all the people in your world are going to be experiencing in the month of July, feel free. But you can also just look at the timestamps below or click ahead to your sign and make sure that you are checking in on your sun sign as well as your moon and your rising. These are all going to be helpful aspects for you throughout the month of July. Hello Aries, welcome to your reading for the month of July. We are going to throw some tarot as we look at what your obstacle is. We have the Queen of Wands. Now let's take a look and see. What is the block that is stopping you from achieving or working through this obstacle? We have the Owl. What is limiting you? Water Fairy. What do you need to move through this? Communication. All right. Now, we'll come back to our tarot. What do you need to feel empowered through this month of July? 10 of Pentacles. All right, so let me just make it so you can see this whole spread. There we go. Okay. All right, Aries. So what I'm seeing here is it seems like you are in a very strong position right now. It feels like you have worked through a lot in the past few months, and now you're in a very strong position. For your obstacle and your question, we actually have the Queen of Wands, right? This is the challenge that you're going to be experiencing in the month of July. And what we see here with the Queen of Wands energy is that you are in a very positive space. It seems like the Queen of Wands, she is attractive, she's energetic, she's social, she's well-liked. And it seems like you are actually in this position right now. You're in a very positive position within your community. And the invitation here is, how can you deepen this experience that you've been having as you've embraced this Queen of Wands energy, which actually lines up so much with your own sign, with the Aries sign, of being bold, ambitious, of having these social qualities that people are really drawn to you. And what we're seeing here, since we have your obstacle in the first position here, your block that is stopping you from achieving this beautiful, deep, wonderful energy of the Queen of Wands, is we have the Owl in reverse. And so the Owl in reverse pulls towards deception. It's a very intellectual card. You may have been, maybe you've been lying to yourself about the reality of a certain situation. Maybe you have been stuck in a situation that feels like you can't get out of it, and you seem to be overthinking the process. There's a lot of overthinking attached to this. You're very much in your head. And when we look at our third position here, this is the limitations that you personally have when it comes to this block. And it seems like, since you have the Water Fairy, which is all about feelings and emotions, think of water, right? The Water Fairy in reverse points us to think that you aren't very connected to your emotions right now, which in the way through this deception, this overthinking process that you're in, is both in connecting to your feelings, because it seems like you're actually quite avoidant of it. This seems like you have a limitation in the power. You seem to believe that there's limitation in the power of your feelings. And we look at our fourth position. This is the energy used to move forward. With communication, what I'm being drawn towards, because I do read intuitively as well, I'm being drawn towards you need the communication between these two parts of your identity, between the emotional part that you have not been depending on, that you've been hiding from, and the very strong intellectual part, because this is starting not to fail you, that's an extreme sense of this word, but the wisdom and the intellect that you've depended on for so long is maybe feeling a bit shallow right now, or not as fulfilling. And it feels like this has been the energy that you've used to have this social presence, to have this charisma that the Queen of Wands embodies, but it does seem like it's superficial. You don't have that depth right now that will allow you to truly experience the beauty of the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is all, I mean, she's the idea of the voted best in class. She's well loved, she's wholehearted, but she can be quite superficial if you don't take the time to explore the depth that she holds. She holds so much wisdom and grounding. She's one of the wands, so she is a fire sign. Think about all of the fire that you experience, Aries, and how it can lead to acting quickly. Fire catches quickly, but you need that balance of water. You need that balance of your emotions. So this is an invitation for this month to look inward and to see, do you feel shallow in your social connections, in your status maybe? And when we finally look at what is the energy that we need in order to be empowered through this process, this is our fifth card. We have the Ten of Pentacles, which is all about gratitude. The Ten of Pentacles is a signal that you have achieved a lot. You have accomplished so many of your goals. And now, what do you do with that? The invitation here is to shift towards gratitude. It really does feel like you've accomplished a lot. You're in a very good space. But it feels quite, maybe you don't feel fulfilled within this accomplishment. Maybe you're wondering, what's next? What do I need to do next? And it really is clear that next is this inward exploration. Next is the deeper layer of this charisma. And it seems like this also sits within your own, it sits within the accomplishments that you've already experienced, within your own passions that you are so involved in right now, within these things that you fought so hard for. The depth is sitting there in these accomplishments, in these things that are already such a big part of your life. You just need to bring in that balance with your emotional side and with how this truly feels. The invitation here is to ask the question, how do I feel right now? Do I feel satisfied? What am I still missing? What am I yearning for? Because the block, in order for you to experience the beautiful, layered, deep quality of the Queen of Wands, is you've been relying too much on your head. You've been relying too much on the intellect. You've been to the point that it feels deceitful. It feels disingenuine. And the answer is communicating with your feeling center. All right, Aries. I hope this reaches you in a good space where you're able to take some time and look inward throughout this next month. And don't forget to click to the end of the video where you'll be getting a little bonus action card for the month of July. Hello, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. We're going to be looking at an Illuminated Lunar Spread, which is a 5-card spread where we are focusing on what is the obstacle. What is does our focus need to be? What should we be striving for this month? So Taurus, what do you need to be focusing on in this month of July? We have the Star reversed. right. Card 2 tells us the block. What is stopping us from achieving this? What is stopping us from experiencing this fully? We have the dragon. Card 3 points out what is our limiting beliefs around this block. We have movement. Okay, reversed. So far, there's a lot of reverse energy. All right, and our 4th says, what is the energy that we need to move forward? Perception. We're going to connect back with our tarot for our 5th card. As we ask the question, what energy is going to be needed in order to feel empowered through this process? 4 of Pentacles. Okay, Taurus, so for the question of what is stagnant right now, what is our obstacle for the month of July, is we have the star reversed. And when the star is reversed, it's having us question our intuition. It's questioning our connection to religion, to spirituality. You may feel a little hopeless right now, or like you don't have that grounded support that you maybe are really used to depending on. It brings to light that maybe you don't have that connection to an inner compass right now and you feel a little lost. What we see here through the rest of our Luna spread is that the block that is stopping you from connecting to your spirituality or from allowing you to feel connected is it seems like you may feel quite powerless right now. You may be feeling like a victim of circumstance. You may be feeling like you have been stuck in the same pattern and you don't have the ability to move through it. It seems like this is your block card here in position 2. And what we look at with position 3 is we have movement in reverse. And movement is a confirmation card, but it is also this, take a look at the water. When you think of movement, you would think of a raging river. This water is so calm and peaceful, and this card is all about balance. And when we look at the 3rd position here, we're looking at what are the limiting beliefs that you currently hold that are stopping you from moving through the block, that are moving through this limitation to explore our obstacle, right? Think of the 3 connecting this way. And movement in reverse makes me think that you have felt very stuck. You have felt, this is very connected to, it seems like you don't think you have the ability to regain power. You don't think you have the ability to take control. And so we look at our 4th position here, which always asks the question of what energy can we use to move forward? And when we see we have perception, the energy you need to move forward through this is you need to change your point of view. You need to change the way that you are looking at these things. You have an opportunity here within this upcoming month of July to explore this feeling of a lack of connection to your intuition, a lack of hope, a lack of optimism. This position that it feels like you've been in for a while now, Taurus, where it comes to the action that you want to come into your world, is something that you actually do have a lot of power within. The block and the limiting beliefs around this situation, we have very powerful cards sitting here in reverse. You are in position to shift the perception that you have of your position right now, of your situation, in order to realize that you are actually in control. And that brings us to our 5th card, asks the question, what energy would be used to be empowered in this situation? And the 4 of Pentacles is all about control. So it seems like there are some very tangible parts of your world right now where you are in control. The 4 of Pentacles also points to material things. And it seems like you've been clinging to that control, maybe, and holding that really tightly. And there are issues that can come from holding too tightly to that control, because the 4 of Pentacles reminds us that absolute control is impossible. And what we're seeing here is you, this feeling of powerlessness, this feeling of being stuck, the feeling of hopelessness. All of this is tied to control. And so it seems like what you can explore this month, Taurus, is the opportunity that you have to come out of your comfort zone a little bit. You're very comfortable within the things that you do have control over, and you want to expand that control. But there's so much freedom waiting for you in releasing control, in shifting your perspective. Because once that happens, then this block that you have of feeling powerless, you will experience that movement. And you'll be able to experience all of the beauty that the star energy holds. But you need to make that shift first. Let go a bit of control. And that way you'll be able to reconnect with your intuition, reconnect with your spirituality. You'll be able to build that bond with your inner compass once more. But it is going to take a perception shift. And it is going to take letting go. All right, Taurus, make sure you jump to the end of the video for your bonus action card reading. It's going to be a quick one. And I will see you all next time. Okay, Gemini, welcome to your July reading. We're going to be taking a look at what is stagnant in your life right now. What obstacle needs to be addressed for the month of July 2025. So we have the Page of Cups in reverse. For our second card, we are asking the question, what is blocking this stagnant energy? What is allowing this to stay blocked? We have the B. Our third card asks, what's the limitations of our beliefs around this blocked energy? Focus. All right. And our fourth card, we're asking, what is the energy that we need to move forward, to move through this? We have the Queen reversed. Okay. And for our fifth card, what is the energy that we need to feel empowered through this process? We have the Devil. So Gemini, for the month of July, the stagnant energy we have is the Page of Cups in reverse. And the Page of Cups is, when in reversed, is bringing up to our attention the question of some immaturity. Maybe there's been some brash actions. Maybe you've handled things in a way that you don't feel too good about. And the Page of Cups is often tied to young, new relationships. This can be romantic relationships. It can also be close friendships. It's new connections. And it seems like with our obstacle that we're looking at for the month of July, it feels like there needs to be a bit of a reevaluation with the way that you're interacting with the close people around you. And I wonder if there's a level of accountability that you can step up to that you may have been avoiding. And our second card here, which looks at the blocking energy that is stopping us from truly looking at the obstacle, that is stopping us from truly exploring and growing, we have the B in reverse. The B is about luck. It's about victory. And I wonder if you've been feeling maybe that you simply aren't lucky, and you've been blaming some of the things that you need to take accountability for on something as simple as luck and writing it off that way. And it seems like the limiting beliefs that you're holding around this block is that you feel very focused in on one particular path right now. And that path does not seem to be your romantic relationships. This could be your career. This could be your family. It seems like you are very focused off on this other path and are saying, I don't have time to invest in these romantic relationships or these friendships that are it seems like they're becoming more and more important. And Gemini, I do read intuitively, so I am feeling like the focus here is that you have these relationships that have a lot of potential, both romantically and within your friendships, to be significant connections for you. And what we see here with our first three cards is you may have been a bit immature about the way that you've handled some of these things. And that's okay. But don't blame it on the fact that, oh, I'm just not lucky when it comes to dating. Or, oh, I just tend to have a bad picker. You know, all these things that we happen to say. And don't use the excuse of being dedicated in your career or being dedicated to your family, of having this very clear focus, don't allow that to limit you within the potential that is sitting in these wonderful connections. And when we look at our fourth card, which pulls us towards what is the energy we need to move forward through this block, what do we need to move through this block? We have the Queen in reverse. The Queen is all about feminine energy, about friendships, about community, about being gentle. But when she's in reversed, there's a lack of balance there. Maybe you've been leaning too heavily into your masculinity. Maybe you've been leaning too heavily into a restless way of life, which Gemini, we know that you have that tendency to get restless sometimes, to not like that routine. But the consistency, the stability, the nourishment that sits within our feminine energy, within the energy of the Queen, can bring you so much peace, so much connection, and depth to these relationships that you have here. And when we look at what is the energy that is needed to feel empowered through this situation, we have the Devil. And the Devil invites us to look at what is actually our highest self. The Devil has a lot of negative connotations in our society, and it does ask us to reflect on what is our base vibration. There's reflection that is needed here in order to realize, why did I react so immaturely? Why am I not taking accountability within these connections that truly are important for me? But the true invitation that sits within the Devil showing up is to function at our highest self. To choose, because it always is a choice, to take the higher path. To act with integrity. To not fall into the easy route that exists within so much of our romantic connections. We have that ability to choose the easier path. But the Devil, in order for you to feel truly empowered throughout this process, the Devil is asking you, are you going to have the hard conversations with yourself and then choose wisely with the next opportunity that shows up? Okay, Gemini, there's your message for the month of July. Make sure to skip to the end of the video so you can see your bonus card for July 2025. Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your reading for July 2025. Today we are looking at what is the stagnant energy in your world that needs your attention. And we have the Star. And for our second card in our Illuminated Lunar Spread, we're looking at the block. What is blocking you from truly embracing the energy of the Star? We have the Bee. And for our third card, we are asking, what is the limiting beliefs that we currently hold connected to our second card, connected to our block? We have Burden. For our fourth card, we're asking, what is the energy that we need in order to move through this block? We have the Grail Knight reverse. And our fifth and final card, we are asking, what is the energy that we need in order to feel empowered through this process? We have the Six of Cups. So Cancer, for the month of July, the stagnant energy that you'll be working through is the Star for our first card. And the Star represents hope. It represents a new beginning. And it seems like this is a new beginning that you've been anticipating. I do read intuitively, and that is coming through quite clearly for you, Cancer. It seems like this is something that it doesn't feel like a surprise. It seems like this is something you have been working towards and ready for. You don't seem to be caught off guard with this new beginning coming in. Our second card, where we ask what is the block, we have the Bee. And the Bee is a sense of luck, but also industriousness. It's a sense of everything lining up in a certain way. And it's interesting that this is your block here, because it almost seems like you are questioning, are things too perfect? It seems like you're waiting for that final card to fall of when is everything going to go to hell? When is everything going to start to crumble? And it seems like this is all in your mind, because with the third card, we're asking, what are our limiting beliefs around this block? We have burden here. Burden is so much, it's often something that is in your mind. It is often something that you have built a lot of anticipation around. And I wonder if this shift, this new beginning that is coming up for you, feels like there's a lot weighing on your shoulders. It seems like you have this sense of maybe you're running out of time. Maybe this luck won't last forever. Maybe maybe things are going too well. There's no chance of failure. So what happens if you fail? It seems like you're asking a lot of these questions. And it seems like you're really intellectualizing a lot of this luck and a lot of the victory that you've been able to experience before, when the truth behind all of this is you are exactly on the right path. The star confirms that you are on the right path. You are headed in the right direction. And so with our fourth card, we're looking at what is the energy we need to move through this block. We have the Grail Knight reversed. When the Grail Knight is reversed, it's this question of illusion. It's also a focus to look at the sacred, to seek the sacred. And so with the energy needed to move through this fear that you have of failure, because that's what this seems like. It seems like your burden is a fear of failure. It is truly in your mind. You have to recognize that yes, you have a lot of responsibility in this moment, but it almost feels as if you will experience failure if you continue to fear that failure. You are inviting this. The Grail Knight is a wonderful connection to the sacred. And by recognizing that you have power in this situation, by recognizing that you are truly connected to your intuition and to energy and to spirit, then you are going to see that this fear and this worry will invite fear and worry, will invite failure, will invite that exactly what you're worrying about. And so the energy you need to move through this is breathe, recognize that so much of this is the fear that you've built up in your mind, and there is success waiting for you. You are on the right path. That is the energy you need to embody in order to move through this block. And our fifth and final card tells us the energy that we need to feel empowered through this process, and we have the Six of Cups. The Six in Cups is actually a reinforcing card to the star. These two have very similar energy. You're on the right path, but the Six of Cups reminds us that we can approach this with the innocence of a child. The Six of Cups brings this quality of innocence. So if you're worried that maybe you aren't built for this, or if you're worried that you can't live up to the expectations, the Six of Cups tells us that you are innocent in this experience. You don't need to worry about not being capable, because you have everything that you need in order to succeed, as long as you just move forward with the beautiful innocence of a child, where it's playful, where it's fun, where you're releasing this burden, where you're finding the joy in whatever it is that you're doing. Because if you don't have that joy, then that burden will just feel like it's consuming everything. So to sum up, Cancer, you are on the right path. Things are going to continue to line up for you, but you really need to release this fear that you are going to fail. You really need to release this illusion that you've built up in your mind that you're not capable, because you truly are. And once you're in the process of releasing this burden, releasing this illusion that you've created, move forward with the innocence of a child. Move forward with play, with joy, with laughter, with connections, with the people around you. Okay, Cancer, I hope this message reaches you well, and make sure you skip to the end of the video for your bonus reading. Hello, Leo. Welcome to your July reading. Today, we are asking the question of what is stagnant in our life right now? What needs our focus? And we have the Eight of Wands. For our second card, we're asking, what is the blocking energy? What is stopping us from truly focusing or embracing this stagnant energy? What is our block? We have the Hawk reversed. Our third card asks, what are our limiting beliefs around this block? We have the Cow. Our fourth card is, we're asking, what is the energy we need to move through this block? We have the Novice. Our fifth and final card is going to tell us, what is the energy we need to feel empowered through this? We have the Hanged Man. The stagnant energy and the focus that you need to have for this month is the Eight of Wands, which is a wonderful card that signifies news is coming. It tells us that action is about to take place. It seems like it's a very fast-paced card. Things are going to happen rapidly. This feels like a very busy month for you. And the blocking energy connected to this stagnant energy of the first card is the Hawk reversed. And the Hawk is all about omens and messages. And so I love that these two have come together, because the Eight of Wands being all about news and the Hawk being all about omens and messages, it seems like this block that you were experiencing is maybe you feel disconnected to news coming your way, or you feel disconnected to messages showing up. Maybe you seem like you're out of communication with the people around you. And the aspect here that is, the word coming to mind is ironic, but there is no irony in tarot. The limiting beliefs, the illusion around this block is the Cow. And the Cow reminds us that sometimes nourishment is as simple as asking and receiving. The opportunity that sits for you here is you can have connection within this very fast-paced month that is coming. You can be open to receiving the messages and the news and everything that is showing up for you in this sense through connection, but you need to be the one to ask. It seems like you have a limiting belief around being able to ask, being in a space where you can ask for support, where you can ask for community, because it seems like you have this belief that you're disconnected. And so as we look at what is the energy we need to move forward, we have the Novice. And this tells me this may be brand new territory for you. This may be something you have never tried. You may feel very out of your element. You may feel very uncomfortable in this invitation to reach out and ask for support or ask for community. And you should run with that ignorance. You should run. The invitation that's sitting here within our fourth position is this Novice energy is what you should use to propel yourself through this block, because things will take off quickly. Again, the Eight of Wands is a card of speed. It is a card of messages and news, and these actions are going to bring this action of you communicating with your community, asking for help, asking for community, asking for support, asking for companionship maybe, will propel you past this block of feeling like you're disconnected, feeling like you aren't open to receiving these messages, feeling like you don't have that communication, and will bring that. It'll happen all quickly. All you have to do is reach out. All you have to do is reach out. And what's fascinating here is within our energy that we need to feel empowered through this, we have the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is a card of contradiction, because it is a card that signifies the end of something through the beginning of something new. It is a card that signifies that there is sacrifice needed here, that there is balance needed here. And what it tells us is that we win by letting go. We win through sacrifice. We win through surrender. And it seems like you need to let go of this control, because what happens when we ask for support is we're releasing some of our control in that action. And this energy will only happen where you have this high-paced connection, wonderful community, things come into fruition, this beautiful, beautiful energy of the Eight of Wands. If you want this, which is waiting for you within this next month, if you want this, you need to take that first step, ask for help, connect with your community, and let go of some of that control. Surrender. Allow someone else to step in and help. Allow someone to lend the hand. Let people in, Leo. Let them in. I know you are used to leading. I know you're very used to being, the center of the crowd, but this may be this opportunity for you to step back a little and let someone else step in. And let someone else bring this wonderful energy. Okay, Leo. I hope this reaches you in a good space. And make sure you jump to the end of the video so that you can get your bonus action card for the month of July. Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. Today, we are asking the question, what is stagnant in your life? And what needs your focus? What needs your attention? And today, everything's coming up. We have Justice reversed. And our second card, we're asking, what is the block? What is blocking this energy? What is stopping us from allowing it to be our focus? Protection. Our third card answers the question, what are our limiting beliefs around this block? We have the Spider. And now we're asking, what is the energy we need to move forward through this block? We have the Queen. And then our final card is going to tell us, what is the energy we need to feel empowered? So Virgo, for the month of July, the focus you need is Justice in reverse. Now, Justice has a very serious energy to it. You think of a courtroom. And when it is in reverse, it is a reminder of actions past. It is a reminder that maybe there have been parts of your past that are creeping up, that are this. We have a cause that occurred in the past where you made certain decisions, and now the effect is coming into play. Cause and effect. So it seems like whether this has to do with a decision you made that has been weighing on your mind, or that is physically coming up and impacting you now, it seems like you have, and it comes up with this question of integrity. It comes up with, did you handle that in the best way that you could? And those questions seem to be bubbling now. And when it comes to the block of you truly exploring this stagnant energy, we have protection. You feel quite protective over the decisions that you made, and I wonder if this is limiting your ability to truly see what occurred, or truly see maybe there was a different approach you could have had. You feel protective, you also feel defensive. I do read intuitively, and there's a defensiveness that's sitting here within this block. And when we look at what our limiting beliefs around this block is, it seems like you've gotten quite creative in your ability to weave that web of defending the decisions that you made in the past. You've gotten quite creative with it. And I wonder if you have actually had that time to sit back and reflect and truly look at what occurred for what it is. And so the invitation here about what energy would be helpful in order to move through this block. So we have the Queen. Now the Queen is about balance. She holds all feminine power, feminine energy, sexuality, friendships, connection. She's all about receiving. It seems like maybe you have also blocked yourself off from this feminine energy, which, Virgo, we know that you are very masculine in the sense of how practical and logical you can be. And that disconnect from your feminine energy is not serving you right now. In order to move through this block and truly look at the past for what it is, you need to lean into your feminine energy a little bit, which ties perfectly with our fifth card of what energy is needed in order to feel empowered through this. We have strength reversed. Now, strength is about, it's about being gentle within your strength. And when you have strength reversed, you are confronted with this question of, have you been too angry? Have you maybe raged too much? Or is the time for raging coming to a close? Do you need to shift into embracing the gentleness that sits within both strength and within the queen and that feminine energy in order to process through this and truly look at your past this way? And this is not a punishment. This is not a focus on blame or guilt in any sense. This is just an invitation for honesty. It's an invitation to take a look at what you've been protecting with a fresh pair of eyes and to give yourself grace through this whole process. Both strength and the queen are cards of kindness. And that kindness is something you need to give to yourself through this process. That graciousness, that understanding, that compassion. When strength is also that card of balance, when you're met with anger and deceit, you respond with love and compassion. It's a beautiful card of balance in that sense. And so is justice. Justice is all about balance, but in a much more rigid, karmic sense. All right, Virgo, I hope this reaches you in a good space and resonates. Make sure you skip to the end of the video where you will see your bonus card for the month of July. Okay, Libra, welcome to your reading for the month of July. Today we are asking the question, what is stagnant in your world that needs your focus? We have the Empress reversed. Okay. And Libra, our second card is going to tell us what is blocking us from truly embracing the energy of the Empress. What is blocking us right now? We have beauty. With our third card, we're asking, what are our limiting beliefs around this block? We have the Deer. And then, what is the energy we need to move forward through this block? And the Raven reversed. And finally, what energy is needed to feel empowered through this process? We have the King of Swords. Wow, what great balance is sitting here. This is a very interesting reading of balance, but also it seems like you need this connection to intuition, and your connection to nature needs to be the focus. We see that the Empress here, she's the mother. She's a connection to nature, to Mother Nature. And when we have Empress reversed, which answers the question of what is stagnant in our life, it seems like you have been indecisive. It seems like you're restless. It seems like you feel disconnected. It seems like you feel disconnected from your roots, from nature, from that sense of comfort. And what we see here is, it seems like the block that we're experiencing, Libra, with this look at how can we connect back to our roots and embrace this Empress energy, we have beauty, or the butterfly, reversed. And the butterfly is about change. It's about the beauty within the cycles of life. And it seems like you may be just truly, it feels like you're so disconnected from the cycles of life. And what we see here is your limiting beliefs around this block. We have the Deer, which is about gentleness and diplomacy. And when you see the Deer in reverse, it seems like you've been overcautious, overly diplomatic. It seems like you may have convinced yourself that you're in a position where you don't have that much control, or where you don't have the ability to reconnect with your roots. And it seems like you may have convinced yourself that you're stuck. You may be a little too worried about hurting other people's feelings. And maybe it really feels like, 'cause I do read intuitively, Libra, and it seems like you have been really trying to take care of the people's emotions around you. Take care of really the fragile emotions that are existing around you, the fragile egos that are around you. And you've forgotten to reconnect with your own roots and to prioritize yourself as well. And so when we look at what energy we need to move through this block, we have the Raven in reverse. And the Raven brings us this concept of magic, of coincidence, in the sense that there is no coincidence. There is just magic, right? And it seems like you are lacking that energy right now. And which is interesting because it feels like you have so much depth available to you, Libra. But you've been leaning so heavily on the supporting others, and you haven't been able to connect with this Empress energy. And so the invitation that we have here to move through this is to simply accept that there is magic in your world and that you yourself are magical. And when we see the energy that we need to feel empowered through this, we have the King of Swords, which is a very practical, rigid card. It's an intense energy in that sense. And it seems like this is where you've been functioning. It seems like you have been able to thrive within your communication. You've been able to thrive in an integral space. You have really found a way to communicate with the people in your world and make sure that there is fairness and structure. And this is something you can continue to do. You can continue to support your community. You can continue to be rigid and have that structure, but you need to bring this balance back in. Libra, you are a sign of balance, of diplomacy, and feels like you've kind of strayed from that in a sense of leaning too heavily into this structure, into this King of Swords energy. You may be leaning too heavily and depending too heavily on supporting those around you and forgetting to give yourself a bit of love as well. And so just to reiterate, the invitation for you here is to fall back in love with this Empress energy, with this mothering energy that you have, with the beauty of the cycles of life, with the roots that you have with your family, with your origin, with nature. There's so much beauty and connection and home waiting for you there. And you can reach this by accepting the magic that's happening in your life, maybe opening up your eyes and noticing the patterns. Noticing that whenever you look at the clock, you see 333. What does that mean to you? Or noticing that there's certain patterns happening in your life. And ask yourself, are these coincidences? Is this magic? Is this synchronicity? Or is it just happening this way and I can continue to just exist within this structure? And I'm not saying to abandon the structure, to abandon the discipline, because clearly this is what's allowing you to be empowered right now. You just need to bring this in to balance out this really intense masculine energy. All right, Libra, I hope this message reaches you well. And don't forget to click to the end of the video so you can get your bonus action card reading for the month of July. Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the month of July, where we're looking at what is stagnant in your life that needs your focus. What needs your focus right now? We have the Ace of Pentacles. All right, so with our second card that we're throwing today, we are asking, what is the block right now that is stopping us from embracing the Ace of Pentacles? What is blocking us? We have the Spider. Our third card will tell us what are the limiting beliefs around this block, the High Priestess. And our fourth card says, what is the energy we need to move through this block? And finally, what is the energy that we need to feel empowered through this process? The Knight of Swords. So for the month of July, the focus here is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is a card of abundance. It's a card of long-term growth. It's an invitation to plant seeds and to get excited and creative about what your future may hold. It's definitely a card that signifies the beginning of change, a beginning of a new era. And so I see this being a month where you are starting new things that will be a part of your world for a long time. The block that we see here is the spider. And I wonder if you have been stopping yourself from getting creative when it comes to what your future may hold. From truly dreaming and from having fun weaving that web of what it could be and being truly creative about what your future could contain. And we see here with your limiting beliefs around the block, we have the High Priestess. The High Priestess is the connection to the subconscious, to the spiritual world. She is the embodiment of the feminine energy that sits within spirituality, with your intuition, with your empathy. And it's also a card that signifies education and a high level of knowledge within whatever the focus is. And so what I'm seeing here is it seems like this limiting belief around your block is you may think that you need all of this security and education and knowledge within whatever your future may hold in order to have that success. And what I'm seeing here is that may not be true. You need the creativity within whatever you're dreaming your future could be. Dream up whatever future you want, regardless if you have experience or grounded connection within that thing at all. You have potential to start something new. And what we see is, what energy do we need to move forward? We have the mystery. Now, the mystery is a confirmation card of success. It's a card that is a strong yes. It also sits within the unknown. So it seems like you may be starting something new that you have not experienced before. And that may be very intimidating, but the energy that will allow you to be empowered is the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords acts first. He barrels into situations. He's very courageous. And that may be dangerous at times, but it seems like this Knight of Swords energy is very welcome right now, Scorpio. This Knight of Swords energy is very propelling. It is very courageous. It pushes you into the next situation. And it seems like whatever is coming to mind right now, whatever is tickling you while you're watching this video of, gosh, I have been thinking about that one thing but I don't know. I don't have enough experience. I don't know anything about it. Run with it. See what comes up. This is your opportunity to play. This is your opportunity to experiment and try new things. But make sure you have that passion. Make sure you have that excitement about whatever you're inviting into your life. And this could be a career. This could be a hobby. This could be a side hustle. This could be a new relationship. This could be a new approach that you have within your family to invite healing into your family. There's so many ways that we could allow this abundance to plant seeds for the long-term future. And there's no limitations here to what you can experience. There's so much opportunity sitting within this. And don't feel like you need to be locked within experience or education in order to experience success. This will come. The High Priestess energy of having that strong gut connection to it, of having the education, of having the knowledge, it will come with time. But there's something that you need to start, something that is a mystery to you. You need to start something that is unknown in order to experience this abundance. All right, Scorpio, I hope that this reaches you in a space where you're able to fully embrace this message and that it resonates. And don't forget to jump to the end of the video where you will get a quick bonus reading for the month of July. Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for July. Today we're asking the question of what is stagnant in your life that needs your attention. What should your focus be for the month of July? We have the Nine of Cups. And with our second card, we're asking, what is the block that we are currently experiencing when we are attempting to shift into the focus of this Nine of Cups reversed energy? What is blocking us? We have Death. Our third card is going to tell us what are our limiting beliefs around this block. Okay, and our fourth card says, what is the energy we need to move forward through this block? We have Risk. Okay, Sagittarius. And now we're going to ask, what is the energy we need to feel empowered through this shift, through this focus? And we have the Page of Wands. Okay, Sagittarius, what a big month of July do you have coming up for you? Wow. All right, so for the Nine of Cups reversed, this is your obstacle. This is the focus that you need. This is what needs your attention right now. And the Nine of Cups reversed says, have we been too materialistic? Have we maybe been too greedy? Sagittarius, have you maybe been too focused on some materialistic things and not seen the bigger picture? And when we look at the block that is stopping us from embracing the energy of the Nine of Cups, is we have Death reversed. And death is a symbol of change, of new beginnings. And it seems like you've maybe been resistant to this change. It seems like your block is that you haven't embraced this change. You haven't embraced this fresh beginning. And it seems like what is stopping you from embracing this new beginning is you have a fear of letting go. What are you holding on to right now that is so important that is not allowing you to move forward into the future? There's something significant here that you are clinging to that is not allowing you to embrace what is waiting for you. And when we look at this transition that we have coming up with the Nine of Cups energy is in reverse, is it seems like you have been too connected to the materialistic things, maybe too tied to money or to the thinking that there are limitations within your own materialistic world. That may be an illusion, may not be the core of the matter that you need to be looking at. And when we look at what is the energy that will help us move through this block, is we have Risk reversed. And when Risk is reversed, the message is there is no risk. The message is you need to move forward courageously, which partners so well with the energy that we need in order to feel empowered through this change, is we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is a reminder that you can move forward courageously. That it is the symbol of new beginnings, which is so beautiful that it is the message that's coming in how you can feel empowered through this change. The Page of Wands tells us of an opportunity for exploration, for travel, for being inspired. It tells us that we're ready to step into the unknown courageously because you actually don't have risk right now, Sagittarius. And so with the message here for the month of July is it seems like you have been you're tied to your current materialistic world. You've been greedy and not wanting to let go. But this change is so positive because there's no risk on the other side, and you have so much potential and excitement and curiosity and change, travel, exploration, courageously stepping into the unknown that is waiting for you. And the message of death here is not a negative one. It is simple. It is simply a message of change and of transition. But you're currently blocking yourself from this change. You're cutting yourself off from this potential because you need to let go of some of these materialistic things that you're really holding on to. This could actually look like donating some things in your home. This could look like downsizing. This could look like maybe a bigger conversation around money, or the way that material possessions play a role in your life. The Nine of Cups holds the energy of make a wish, but be careful what you ask for. You need to move into this transition so consciously and present, because you clearly are in a power position right now once you are able to let go. All right, Sagittarius, I hope this finds you in a positive and safe space where you're able to truly hear this message. And don't forget to skip to the end of the video where I will provide a quick bonus card for an action card for the month of July. Hello, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. Today we're asking the question of what is currently stagnant in your life that needs your focus this month. We have the Two of Swords. And our second card is going to tell us what is blocking us from embracing the energy of the Two of Swords, from truly focusing on that invitation that sits within the Two of Swords. What's blocking us? And both of these wanted to come out, so we're going to put both of them down. All right. And the third card tells us what is our limiting belief around this block. We have protection. And what is the energy we need to move forward through this block? We have partnership in reverse. And what is the energy we need to be empowered through this experience? We have judgment. All right. Okay, Capricorn, so with the focus for the month of July, we have the Two of Swords. And the Two of Swords is an invitation for you to look inward because you have a choice to make. There's a decision waiting here for you. And it is important for you to quietly make this decision in a peaceful space. And I do read intuitively, and it seems like, Capricorn, maybe you've been struggling to experience that quiet peace that is needed to make this decision. And so the block that it seems, we had two cards jump out here. We have forgiveness in reverse, and we have the Queen upright. And this is your block of what is blocking you from experiencing the peace needed to make this decision, to make this choice, or what is simply stopping you from taking action and making this decision. It seems like you are holding on to something that you need to let go of. And maybe you're sitting too heavily within your feminine energy. Maybe you actually have been, it seems like there is a dependency here on your feminine energy where you're not experiencing that balance. And when we lean too heavily into the energy of the Queen, too heavily into our feminine energy, we can really miss opportunities that sit within structure and discipline and within the giving act that is masculine energy. And so when we look at what are the limiting beliefs around this block that is stopping us from making this decision, we have protection. It seems like you're very protective of yourself. And you know what's coming through here is this actually feels really connected to a relationship. It seems like you have been in a situation where you have been maybe carrying all of the feminine energy within your relationship. And you've been struggling through a few things and you're having a hard time forgiving and moving on. And you feel quite protective of yourself, quite protective of your heart is what's coming up. And what's sitting in the energy that we need to move forward is we have partnership reversed. And it seems like within this partnership, within this relationship, that you're struggling to figure out if you want to stay or go. Or if you want to set new terms, maybe this decision that sits within this relationship. And by relationship, this could be a romantic relationship. This could be a friendship. This could be a business partnership. This could be someone in your family, right? But it's a relationship with someone who is important to you. It seems like you don't feel like you're in a partnership right now, though. It seems like you need to embrace the duality that sits in a partnership where you are both listening and speaking, where you are both providing a safe space for that person to speak and be vulnerable, but where you are also feeling heard. And what's clear here is the energy that is needed in order to be empowered through this situation, through this process, through the process of forgiveness, is judgment. And judgment is it's a card that signifies new change, new beginning, the end of something. And what's clear is judgment is also an invitation for self-reflection. So in the process of making this decision, there's two steps here, is what's clear. The process that you need to go through, Capricorn, in order to make this decision is you need to look inward. You need to make sure you have the ability and the time to quietly connect with your intuition, connect with your feeling center, and look inward. Don't be afraid of this Queen energy that you may have felt too dependent on. Don't be tired of that feminine energy. She is so wise and powerful and is willing to help. And there's so much wisdom that is sitting within your own feminine energy that you need to tap into, rather than it feeling like a burden. So the first step here is self-reflection. This is what you need in order to feel empowered through this decision. What you need in order to take action to move through this decision, once you've had that time to have that self-reflection and to connect with your intuition, connect with your feeling center, connect with your feminine energy, is connect with your partner. Invite them into this process that you're going through. Do not do this alone in solitude. Connect with this person who has put you in a situation where you're struggling to forgive them, and tell them that you are struggling to forgive them. Tell them about this process that you're going through. They may just surprise you. But make sure that you are having that moment of solitude, that moment of quiet reflection first, before you reach that step. All right, Capricorn, I hope this reaches you in a good space and resonates. And don't forget to skip to the end of the video where I will provide a quick bonus card for an action card for the month of July. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to your July reading. We are asking the question, what is currently stagnant in your life? What needs your focus? We have the High Priestess in reverse. All right. Our second card is going to ask the question, what is blocking us from focusing on this energy? What is our conflict? What's our block? We have birth, rebirth. The third card, we talk about our limiting beliefs around this block, which is the High Priestess in reverse. All right. And then we have the energy that we will use to move through this, the Eagle in reverse. And our fifth card, we're asking, what is the energy we need to feel empowered through this process? We have the Page of Pentacles. So with our stagnant energy right now and the High Priestess reversed, the High Priestess is the connection to the subconscious, to the spiritual world. She is the embodiment of the feminine energy that sits within spirituality, with your intuition, with your empathy. When the High Priestess is reversed, she actually represents repression, mistrust, maybe secrecy. It seems like there is that disconnect between your tangible world and your spiritual world. And the block that we're seeing here is birth, rebirth. This is the blocking energy that is stopping you from realizing the potential within your high priestess energy. We actually, the limiting beliefs that will help us understand this block even further, we have the high priestess in reverse. Now this oracle deck, the Wisdom of Avalon, is inspired by the tarot. So we do actually have a high priestess. And I have never thrown the high priestess twice. And this is a really significant moment right now is what this feels like. It seems like you may have this belief that you don't have access to this part of your consciousness, this part of your identity. There may have been some experience that has, maybe there was a change that happened that is cutting you off from your connection to the high priestess energy, from your intuition, from your connection to spirituality. And the invitation here of how you move through this block that is occurring is with the energy of the eagle. We have the eagle reversed. And the eagle is also discussing the connection to the angelic realm, to spirituality, to intuition. And it seems like you just have this very significant block going on right now with your connection to your intuition. And you need a fresh start. You need something new, which we see also in the energy that needs to be represented, to be embraced in order to feel empowered, is the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles is all about new beginnings. It's a portal card. It's a card about starting something fresh and starting something unknown. What this feels like, and I am reading intuitively, Aquarius, at this point. It seems like there's some deeper explanation that is needed here. It feels like you at some point had a very strong connection to your intuition. And I'm pulling this from the birth rebirth card as a part of this block. There is a cycle that is repeating here within this change, within this new start. And the block is, maybe you're fearing this cycle repeating itself. Maybe there's worry that you'll get stuck in those same patterns and not be able to truly embrace the potential that is sitting within the high priestess energy. The fact that you not only have the high priestess twice, but you have them both reversed, is really pointing me towards this feeling that there's mistrust between you and your intuition, or there's mistrust between you and your spirituality, your religion. And it's what is I'm really being drawn towards right now is that you need to start something brand new. There's something that you've not experienced this before. This could be a brand new form of connecting with your spirituality, but it should be done with an excitement. The Page of Pentacles is all about being excited about what is new. It's about the curiosity, the natural curiosity and excitement that comes with new. And rather than feeling burdened by it. Because it feels like there's some heaviness here when we are looking at the struggle that comes with the High Priestess reversed, is that she is a card of inaction, of sitting quietly, of contemplation, of connecting with your inner self. This is not a card of action, of moving fast, of making big decisions. This is a card of meditation, of searching inwardly for what that next step is, that next connection is. And it's interesting because these energies being paired of the Page of Pentacles and the High Priestess, in order to use the energy of the Page of Pentacles, in order to free the High Priestess energy, it's bringing excitement, curiosity, and that feeling of something new into the quiet, inactive space of the High Priestess. Maybe it's trying a new meditation you've never tried before. Maybe it's connecting within community where you can really sit back and absorb the knowledge that is being shared. Maybe it's connecting with something like Tai Chi, or moving your body through this, or through yoga. There's so many ways that we can connect with spirituality and connect with this other world that the High Priestess thrives within. And it clearly is something you have not experienced before, in order to break this fear that you have of this cycle repeating. Because the birth rebirth shows us that there is something new coming in, there is change happening, this is the end of a cycle. But it feels like you have this fear of the previous cycles that you've experienced repeating themselves and coming into your future again. But you are in a position where you can break that cycle and bring something new into this next stage of your connection with the High Priestess, so that you can allow that High Priestess within you to thrive. All right, Aquarius, I hope this reaches you in a good space. Don't forget to jump to the end of the video so that you can see your bonus card for the month of July. Hello, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the month of July. We're asking the question, what is stagnant in your life right now that needs your focus, that needs your attention in the coming weeks? Oh, and we have two cards that jumped out here. We have the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords. These are both going to be your cards for the first position in this Illuminated Lunar Spread. All right. For our second card, we're asking what energy is blocking you? What energy is stopping you from experiencing this full potential? And we have letting go. This third card is asking, what are our limiting beliefs around this block? Love. And our fourth card is, what energy is needed to move through this block? The Merlin. All right. And our fifth and final card is going to tell us what energy is needed in order to feel empowered through this process. And we have the Five of Swords. So Pisces, for our first position, where we are asking what is stagnant that needs your focus right now, we have the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands, when reversed, signals the end of something. It signals the end of a cycle. It shows us that there is, that something is coming swiftly to an end. This is a card of speed as well. And when paired with the Seven of Swords in reverse, there may have been some deceit at play. There may have been dishonesty. You may not be fully transparent with yourself when it comes to the dishonesty that you have been. Really feels like you may have been dishonest with yourself, is what this seems like. And the invitation that comes with the Seven of Swords reversed is to simply accept that you could have done better, and to take responsibility for the moments when you weren't fully honest, and where you may just need to give yourself a little bit of grace, but still step into the responsibility and the accountability here. And what I'm seeing here with the block, we have letting go in reverse for our block that is stopping us from truly focusing and embracing the energy of the Ace of Wands and the Seven of Swords. It seems like you are struggling to accept that this has come to an end. And it does seem like it is a relationship coming to an end. This feels like the limiting beliefs around this block. We have love in reverse. It seems like what is coming to, it doesn't have to be a relationship. I can feel like for many of you it is. But for some of you, this could be the end of a phase of your life that you really loved, that you're not wanting to let go of. This could be the end of a career that you really loved, that you don't want to let go of. This could be, I don't know, if you're graduating high school and you're not ready to move on because you loved high school. There's so many ways that this could apply. This is the end of a cycle. You're struggling to let go. And the reason why you're struggling to let go is because there was love here. But where you may not be honest right now with yourself is, were you truly fulfilled in this love? We have love reverse. paired with Seven of Swords reversed. I wonder if some of the deceit where you're lying to yourself about some of this is that maybe it truly didn't fulfill you the way that you wanted it to. Maybe it felt like everything was coming up short a little bit. Maybe you were disappointed more times than you care to admit. And maybe you feel shame in the fact that you didn't actually thrive as much as you'd wanted to. And these are hard conversations to have with ourselves. And I'm not saying that you need to feel shame in any way around the fact that you haven't been able to let this go or truly look at what your relationship with this love was like. But the energy that you should embrace while moving through this block, is the Merlin. Now, the Merlin is a card of integrity. It's a card of balance. The Merlin also talks about justice and order. But showing up with the Merlin energy is showing up with wisdom. It's showing up calmly and peacefully. It is showing up rooted in your integrity, rooted in your decisions. This is a really significant shift that we have here because you're coming out of the Seven of Swords reverse energy and coming into the Merlin energy. That is a big change. That is a big transition. But we see that the energy that you need in order to feel empowered through this process is the Five of Swords. And what we see with the Five of Swords is the Five of Swords says, okay, a battle was fought, but what was the purpose? There was a struggle here, but how is it going to serve us? And when reversed, the Five of Swords calls for forgiveness and for understanding. Whatever transgressed, whatever happened that led to you lying to yourself about how fulfilled you were, you struggling to let go of this, the ending happening as a whole. And so the way that you are able to connect with this ending is you actually have an opportunity here to embrace this ending in a very peaceful, forgiving, mature way. And it'll be different than how you've handled it so far. Because it seems like it's an abrupt ending, but it's almost like you knew it was coming for a while because you haven't truly been satisfied within this. And so as this relationship comes to a close, as this period of your life comes to a close, as this career comes to a close, whatever this is that is ending for you, this transition brings so much wisdom and knowledge. And it's not that you are going to be... the Merlin signifies that you are not going to be lost on the other side of this change. There is great wisdom and grounding and foundation waiting for you within this change and on the other side of this change. But if you stay in this energy, if you stay holding on, struggling to let go, if you continue to lie to yourself about what this truly meant to you, then you're missing out on the understanding the purpose of this fight, the purpose of this battle, the purpose that this whole connection, this whole relationship had in your life for however long it's been a part of your world. There's so much resolution and peace and there's a lot of peace waiting for you here once you're able to embrace this energy of the Merlin. I hope this reaches you in a good space. Don't forget to jump to the end of the video so that you can see your bonus card for the month of July. Alright everyone, thank you so much for jumping to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed your readings for July and the upcoming month. We are just going to do a quick little bonus reading for each individual sign. This is your action card for the month ahead and the focus that you should have while you're tackling everything that your greater reading was talking about. I'm going to go rapid fire through each sign. So when you get to your sign or your moon or your rising sign, you can go ahead and pause the video and take a moment to think about the action that this card is inviting you to take. All right, so starting out with Aries, we have bliss. May May you feel deeply and transcend. And I don't read these cards in reverse. For Taurus, we have reveal. May openness lead you to connection. All right. Gemini, we have ease. May it be effortless. And then Cancer, accept. May you receive what it is as it comes. Leo, alive. May you delight in vitality. Virgo, resilient. May your soul weather the storms. Libra, reflect. May you discern and distill. Scorpio, balance. May you find equilibrium in motion. Sagittarius, forgive. May you let it be. Capricorn, courageous. May each breaking wave build your courage. Aquarius, wild. May you express all that you are. And finally, Pisces, receive. May you know you are worthy of the gift. All right. There is your reading for the month of July. Go ahead and you guys, if you subscribe and hit that notification bell, it helps my channel so much, and it also will allow you to connect with all my future readings and my future videos. I do have a live stream every Monday at 11 a.m. Pacific time where I provide free readings. So if you have a question or if you would just like to connect, go ahead and join me there. And I'd also appreciate it. Leave a comment with what your sign is and if this resonated with you. And if you're curious about how you can figure out what your moon and your rising sign are, go ahead and leave that comment as well, and I'd be happy to help you out. And as always, you guys, stay kind to each other, stay positive, and prioritize growth. And I will see you all in the next video.